Well, if you were here yesterday, you know what's happening today. I do apologize the electrics are taking so long. I also need to test fit a seat today. We can look forward to that. And then I might be running to the junkyard later today. The glorious junkyard. Alright, so this little mystery guy is supposed to go... Well, first these wires are supposed to sort of jam into this corner over here. And then this little guy sort of helps hold them down. Alright, so that guy is back in there. We got our wires coming out the side. Alright, so then this guy is supposed to go on this side over here. I've conveniently left my screws and everything in this plate on this side where it's supposed to go. So hopefully that will make our lives easier. And there are conveniently these little slots on the inside of here. You can kind of see one right there. And it's got little grooves on here and then little slides on here that are sticking out. So that helps me align all of this stuff in here. I also want to try and test the continuity here of these switches before I get too far. Just make sure our connections are actually doing something. Turn this guy on. Continuity. That's continuity, right? And we'll find our wires over here. So I'm going to touch one wire, one of these connections to the neutral, one to the low beam. There's resistance there. Let's see what I'm on. All right, it's on low beam now. Continuity for the most part. All right, then high beam. If I switch it to high beam should be somewhere in the middle. All right, continuity there as well. All right, so that was the switch that I was really worried about. We can test the other ones like the horn. So it goes from this green one here, and the power coming into it is also a green line here. And so yeah, then we get some continuity in there. We get something through that horn button. The turn signals, I'm not. All right, so there's something there. Now if I switch it to the other side, seems to be some resistance in that one, but it does seem to work. All right, I think we are in decent shape here, so I'm putting this away. All of our switches seem to have some continuity of some kind. There's a little bit of resistance in some of them, it looks like, but I mean, there's some resistance in wires in general, so I believe my connections are adequate at this point. So, moving on. I need to get this little plate back over the top on this side, and this is kind of complicated. All of this needs to get sort of squished down in here, through there. There needs to be adequate space for that guy to come around there. All right, I'll figure this out, I'll come back. All right, so I've got it all in there. I've got that little plate in there. The only thing that didn't make it in was this little extra piece of plastic. And that, if you recall, sort of goes down where these wires come out. It goes in the side here. And I'm not so sure, I mean, this does fit my narrative really well, but I'm not so sure that that's not there as a design in order to be able to use this controller on projects that have bigger wires or more wires or whatever coming out through here. And this is kind of like an expansion sort of option. So we had one with pretty thin wires. We definitely replaced it with bigger wires, and now this will not fit. So otherwise, I mean, this is kind of a weird thing to have in there, but it would make sense if you're Honda and you're using universal parts as much as possible. So now we should be able to put this on the bike. All right, so should be able to get this guy up here. I'll take my clutch off of here real quick. And then we can easily put this back on. Alright, so that guy's loosely on there now. I want to try and get this guy off real quick. It's got a little Allen head on there. I'm not even sure what I'm loosening right now. Oh, look, ooh, look at that. Alright, get my clutch back up on here temporarily. Everything's sort of loose, just sort of on here. See how it all fits. Alright, so I want to sit our tank up here first, at least. I just want to get a general idea of how well the seat fits the tank. And here's our seat in here. It's a seat that fits a BMW GS, like 1200 or whatever, so I'm hoping, I have no reason to believe it will work. I'm just hoping it will work. Alright, let's see. Oh, that might be close enough, dude. Nice. That will totally work. Oh, you're so lucky. Look at that, man. Oh, there is maybe there's a slight gap like right there. But I mean, none of the stuff is even fitted down, but wow, that is so much closer fit than I had expected. Oh, I thought I was going to be fabricating pieces of metal that were like an inch wide somewhere, you know, to make that work. But this is magic. Oh, I am very happy with that. Very happy with that fit up. That's great, dude. All right, so that's our seat off of BMW GS, which is supposed to be, some people say, is very comfortable. I don't know if the comfort on the GS has to do with the seat or with the suspension, but anyways, they say the GS is supposed to be very comfortable, and I assume the seat plays a role in that, and so that's why I chose it. But yeah, that's going to be our seat, and this sort of gives us an idea of how big our subframe is going to be, because I'm just going to have a solo seat, so our subframe is going to have to cut off like right around there somewhere. So, and how that subframe looks in terms of like the depth of it and everything is yet to be determined. I'm really leaning towards using aluminum for the subframe. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know how many other aluminum subframes there are out there. Most of them seem to be steel for some reason. I don't know if that's just because steel flexes a bit, where aluminum tends to just crack or break at some point. Anyways, seat looking awesome. We'll see you tomorrow.